Good afternoon to all the honorable members of the Parliament and members of CII. Before we start the discussion, I would like to extend my condolences to Mr. Munjal for the demise of his mother. I hope I hope Munjal's family finds strength in difficult times. I thank CII for organizing this interaction. CII has always helped the Commerce Committee in gauging the requirements of the industry. The frequent interactions with the CII between the Commerce Committee and industry associations, including CII, are necessary to keep the government up to date with the current situations in the market. CII is the ears and eyes of the Commerce Committee, and in fact, we draw heavily from the inputs given by CII and other industry bodies, and I would acknowledge the quality of timely inputs which the CII and other industry associations provide us here in the parliamentary standing committees. Now, coming to MSMEs, MSME sector contributes 30% of the GDP, which you are aware of it, and 40% of the country's export. And it employs, MSME employs around 11 crore people. Thus, the recovery to pre-COVID levels becomes of utmost importance for sound recovery of the Indian economy ultimately. While many challenges ahead of the sector, some of the issues which must be considered at the earliest, as early as possible, for both short-term and long-term relief include formalization of first one. The formalization of informal lending is very, very important item. Out of 6.33 crore MSMEs, 6,30,033,000 crore MSMEs, 99% are micro and small businesses in India. Given the smaller size and unable to be parts of the GST network, as a result, often do not maintain any formal financial records. The lack of financial documents makes it very difficult for the banks to judge the credibility of this business institutions to lend money, particularly to MSME sector. This leads to the businesses, these MSMEs, borrowing from the informal sources. Go to the private sector financial companies or money lenders, private money lenders with high interest rates that affect their profitability severely. Fintech platforms with these lower cost acquisition costs than banks can solve this MSME credit gap by targeting small customer segments that need small value loans. The second most important point is intersection with e-commerce. India is going to surpass US to become the second largest e-commerce market by 2024, it is estimated. Digitalization of small and medium enterprises is a very important issue, and that could lead anywhere between 158 to 216 billion dollars to India's GDP by 2024. This is what is expected. Considering the small companies that are used to the traditional brick and mortar model would require massive overhaul to update their basic processes like accounting, supply chain, marketing, unavailability of digital infrastructure, and affordable skilled technical talent could slow the projected growth of this sector. The next point, the very important point, is registration under Udyam. Last year, as all the honorable members are aware, the Ministry of MSME announced a new process of MSME registration called Udyam for enterprises to avail various tax breaks they get as MSMEs. The notification stated that the existing MSMEs registration under Udyog Aadhaar number shall be invalid after 31st March 2021. It is very unfortunate, however. Out of 1.02 crore MSMEs that were registered on the previous portal, only 25.9 lakh MSMEs have migrated to the new portal, new one, indicating the low awareness around the new portal. Extension for filing beyond 31st March should be given as registration to the portal makes MSME eligible for wide variety of benefits. In fact, I would like to bring to the notice of all the members who are attending this web seminar that in fact both MSMEs and tourism, hospitality, both will not come under, do not come under the Commerce Committee. In fact, they come under the different standing committees. However, like you, I am also expressing my views as an individual, not as a chairman of Commerce Committee. And we all will plead with the government to accept our demands. Merging two sector growth. This is very important. MSME must now adopt new strategies to reduce operational costs. Electricity costs, in fact, electricity costs comprise up to 20% of operating expenses of MSMEs. However, the rooftop installations remain significantly low at just 800 megawatts. So Andhra Pradesh has around 7.7 gigawatt of solar and wind projects, and India has India's second largest installed capacity of clean energy, which accounts for around 10% of the green energy capacity in India with an investment of 60,000 crores. Tourism, coming to the tourism last issue. The domestic hospitality industry is expected to contract 65% in the financial year 2021, with the recovery to pre-COVID levels only possible by 2023 and 24. Amid this, tourism and hospitality, which contributes roughly around 10% of GDP and employs nearly 9% of the working population, saw a decline of 19% in the budget since last year. One of the important factors which we all should place it before the central government is that hospitality industry should get industry status. Much of the woes to the hospitality sector are on account of the lack of industry status to it. While some states have granted the status, there is not any uniformity across the country. In fact, Andhra also has not granted industry status to the hospitality industry. The industry status would definitely help the sector take advantage of benefits like lower electricity tariffs, lower rates of borrowings, and which would be a long-term support for the government from the government to this sector. Rationalization of GST structure. This is very important according to me. Report of the Working Group on Tourism of 12th five-year plan in India, the travel and tourism sector is estimated to create 78 jobs per million rupees of investment per million 78 jobs of investment compared to 45 jobs in manufacturing sector for similar enterprises. Therefore, the investment in hospitality sector should be encouraged because it creates more jobs. 78 vis-a-vis 45 when compared to the manufacturing sector. GST on room bookings should be reduced from 18% to 12%. This should be compared with that of the foreign countries which are following the GST. This will not lead to more occupancies, but would also make India globally competitive with countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, etc., and so on and so forth, where the taxation on travel and hospitality is less than 10%. Therefore, we should plead with the central government and also place it before the GST committee comprising of all the finance ministers of the state, including the central finance minister, to reduce the tariff, GST tariff from 18% to 12% at least, if not below 10%. With the, in conclusion, I would like to submit to all the members present with fresh resurgence of cases. Only increased vaccine rollout could instill confidence in the customers to avail services of the hospitality industry. Meanwhile, the government must come up with innovative ideas like the Eat Out to Help Out schemes. That was applied by the UK government, wherein customers avail 50% off if they dine out, must be considered to keep up the demand side of the hospitality sector. It is a way, in a way, it is a subsidy that is being given by the government. I also expect bigger members of CII to handhold the MSME units and help them stay afloat in these hard times ahead, at present and also ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the members. I will address some of the issues that have been raised by
the members. Yeah.
In fact, Mukundanji has pointed out that certain payments to MSMEs are being delayed by the government itself. So, in fact, in one of the meetings, committee meetings that have been held, Shri Aravind Sharmaji, who was the secretary of MSME Ministry, that is Nitin Gadkari Ministry, he has categorically stated in the committee meeting that all the payments, 90% of the payments to MSMEs have already been made, and there are no dues. In case if that statement is not correct, and if any payments are due, as of now, Aravind Sharmaji is not there, and he has gone as an MLC, and now he is a minister in the government. And in case if it is, if there are such payments, dues are there, for long pending dues are there, if it can be brought to the notice of the committee, then we will definitely address it. And secondly, coming to the vaccination, it is 8 to 9 crore vaccines are being produced in India per month, and the population is 130 crores. And every citizen has to get 2 doses totally altogether. It means 260 crore vaccines are to be produced. That may take some more time, because unless the production capacities are increased. In fact, Pune is one of the centers that produces the vaccine, and unfortunately, Maharashtra is most affected state so far as COVID is concerned, particularly second phase. Coming to, in fact, Ashok Shaigalji has pointed out one very important issue, and Ashok Shaigalji was pointing out, saying that what is the point in migrating to new portal of Udyam? There are altogether, if you can go through the list of benefits, altogether 24 benefits are there under Udyam. Some of them I can point out: cheaper bank loans, interest rate is low, easy to get licenses, approvals and registrations, tariff subsidies. Particularly whenever MSMEs import the material, either capital goods or raw material, and they get the subsidies. Now that direct benefit transfer scheme is available, that payments go directly into the bank accounts. Then tax and capital. Of course, I mean tax benefit, direct income tax benefit is no longer there, because tax rate itself has been reduced to 25%. And we will write to the finance minister saying that some benefit has to be given in case, because it's a 25% altogether for all the companies. We will directly write to the finance minister, requesting the finance minister to give some concessional tax rate to MSMEs. I request all the members to popularize the scheme, and then make the MSMEs to enroll and migrate to Udayam and avail their benefits. And one important issue, very, very important issue, which Salil Singalji has raised, very, very important. I do agree with Salil Singalji that the apathy now, insofar as energy sector is concerned, particularly electricity, it is definitely political. There are variety of reasons for that. Many politicians or many state governments are not in a position to concede it for various reasons. I'll just briefly, in half a minute, I'll explain. There are two different aspects here. Basically, the losses are being incurred by the transmission corporations of the respective states, not Gencos and all, Transcos, on account of the fact that they are supplying the electricity to the farming community for free of cost. And secondly, the theft. We don't call it as a theft, but we call it as a commercial loss. Maybe it is for optics. Now the central government is coming out with a new scheme. Those transmission corporations which would like to supply the energy free of cost to the farmers, they are at a liberty to do so, provided the state government, the respective state government, subsidize it. It means there has to be a budgetary allocation from the respective state government to the transmission corporations, and whatever is the tariff that whatever is the electricity charges that are to be paid in the normal course by the farmers have to be compensated by the respective state government. This is definitely an innovative scheme, and those transmission corporations do not comply with these guidelines, they will be put to auction. This is the central government scheme. And secondly, why is the tariffs at present are relatively high when compared to the other countries? I'll explain this. In the early 1990s and 2000, from 2001 to 2010 and even 2000 up to 2015 also, the capital expenditure, capital cost of installing, for example, solar electricity. The capital cost for establishing 1 megawatt of solar unit used to be around 10 crores of rupees. And correspondingly, the tariff, the electricity tariff, which the transmission corporations have agreed to pay according to the PPA with the respective producer, used to be 7 rupees or 8 rupees, even 8 rupees per unit. Now that the capital cost has come down, after capital cost has come down from 10 crores per megawatt to 4 crores per megawatt, the PPAs that have been entered into by the respective state governments with that of the manufacturers cannot be revised because there is a statutory obligation on the part of the state governments. On the contrary, what happens? The average cost to the transmission corporations, or if not 7 rupees, it has come down to 4 rupees, 5 rupees or 6 rupees, because the present tariff, the cost of production of electricity in the case of solar power is only 2 rupees 49 paisa or 2 rupees 50 paisa as now, as against 7 rupees which the producers used to charge. So therefore, there are umpteen number of issues, both from the producer's point of view and also from the state government's point of view, and also the vis-a-vis the free supply that is being given to the farmers. So this is an issue which has to be discussed at length in various platforms, including in the appropriate, if possible, even Commerce Committee also would take up, because we'll shortly be taking up the export infrastructure as a subject shortly. So I assure all the members that this issue, what has been raised by Salil Singhal would be addressed appropriately, and we'll write to the Minister for Power also as to the suggestions that the Commerce Committee would make in this regard. I'm thankful to all the members, and very good inputs have been given by the honorable members of, who have come to this web meeting, and this would be appropriately be taken care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and stay safe.
Thank you.